Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. I call this channel the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube, and I call this chapstick. This is pumpkin pie, scented and flavored. I picked it at random. I'm gonna do what I've been doing. I think I've been doing it. Yo, I be doing so many videos. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Tell you what's on my face. Do the intro while I'm priming my lids. We're gonna use Fenty primer on one lid and try out a new primer on the other lid. I'm gonna see how that works. So on my face, the Fenty Brow, oh, my thick thighs caught it. The Fenty Brow MVP. If you have not seen the video with this Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer, I'm gonna try to remember to link it down below. It's only like 7 minutes long. I love the formula though. But anyway, I have the primer on and the Pat McGrath foundation. I wear shade M18. I set my face. I didn't set under eye because if I get fallout, I'm gonna want to clean it up most likely, unless it's not really that bad. So I didn't set under eye, but I set the rest of my face, and then I, with the Fashion Fair Set It Loose powder, the shade I wear is Truly Tawny. Excuse me. I have on a lot of Pat today. Divine, it is not, Bronze Divinity bronzer. Also Desert Glow. Bronze Divinity is the darkest that you see here, and I did bring this around and forehead, and then I took Desert Glow, and that's more so just kind of right here and on my nose, and then I took Desert Orchid Blush, which is this, and so that's just kind of like right here and also on my nose. And so that right now excuse me, is everything on my face. So I'm going to scrape out the Fenty primer. You see from the title that we're going to be using the Star Wars, which one is this? The golden one, Quints. And we're going to pair that with Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette. This is a Quint also, which is Bronze Bliss. This is going to be tricky because this is cool tone, this is warm tone. And sometimes mixing cool and warm tones makes the shadows look a little muddy. They don't look right. But y'all know I like mud, so we're going to see. I hope it doesn't. That's not my intention, but that's what we're going to do for this video. The Crazy Troll Nation. I call this the Crazy Troll Nation. The crazy, just enjoying doing videos, letting your, I got primer in my eyelash. Enjoying the videos that you do, knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. Not feeling like you need to emulate someone else or be other than you are. Like, your people will find you and accept you and appreciate you for who you are. And the troll part, why am I acting like I don't know what my intro is? The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Watching beauty related content, you may hear you need to use this tool, you need to use this brand, you need to use this technique, and that's not true. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. The bottom line is you need to like how your makeup looks and wear what you want to and just rock it. I'm using a lipstick applicator, so if I don't like this primer, or if I have a reaction to it, which I didn't the other day, which was nice, but if I end up not liking it, or if my lids, excuse me for smacking, end up not liking it, I can feel comfortable giving it away. Even though I opened it, I can say I have not touched this wand to my lid, and I have never double dipped. This is my second time trying this primer. I have not double dipped the lipstick applicator in it, and so that's why I applied that the way that I did. We're going to blend out the primer with the two brushes, one for each side. I also have to let you know, if you're new here, I do curse sometimes in my videos, because I curse sometimes, period. I try to catch myself. Sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. In that Pat primer video, yo, I was holding back. A couple times I was like, and usually when I do something like that, when I'm like, it's wanting to bubble up out of me, and I'm like, no, stay in, stay in. I know it offends some people, and then other people, they don't care. They're just like, just be you. But I don't want to be offensive. So, excuse me. I am going to do a review on the 2 new primers that I've tried. Again, this was the Fenty, my tried and true. This side was a new side. And a couple videos ago, I tried a different primer on this side. And so I'm experimenting with 2 different primers, comparing them against the Fenty, which is stickier. You saw how applying it, the brush was like, more so when I get near the bottom, or like when it's done, it gets tacky, or it's tacky for me anyway. And you see how this one is just like, okay, we're gliding, we're swimming, we're floating, we're cool. And the other new one I'm trying is the same way. But I did a video, new primer, Fenty, and then I used this primer and the other new primer. And now I'm trying this new primer with the Fenty one, because I want to see how they compare with each other. And I will do a video on that review for me and for what my skin accepts. My lids aren't oily, they're not dry, they're just regular. I don't know, but anyway, I do know they're not oily though, because some people, they set their primer with the powder. When I do that, the shadow does not adhere at all. It just like falls right off. But for some people, that's the only way that they're able to get shadow to stick, because their lids are so oily. Putting on a primer, their lids are still oily, and so to get the oils down, they set their lids with a translucent powder or with an eyeshadow that's their skin tone. But I don't have to do that. So we're going to jump in. Oh gosh, I wrote down what's going where, but I didn't write down the names of the palette or my notes. So we're going to take, I'm trying to think of where to put the shades, because I'm not, the pronunciation for some of them, I'm like, I don't know. But we're going to take this shade here, which is, I'm not even going to pronounce it. It's not in English. I'll put it over here somewhere what the name of the shadow is. And again, we're mixing cool tone and warm tone, so we're just hoping for the best here. I am excited about the new Quints, because they're supposedly the same formula as this one and the golden one. And it's ironic that it's the same formula, or said to be the same formula as the golden one, because the golden one is a different formula than Sith's Deduction. So I'm just like, that to me is just strange, because they're both in the Star Wars collection. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. And they're made in Italy, the new Quints. And these 2 are made in Italy. For me, I do notice a difference depending on where the shadows are made. Some people don't notice a difference. Some people say it's the same great quality. And I'm like, my lids is telling me different. But then it depends on your skin. It depends on your preference. It depends on what you like. And that goes to the intro. Like, wear whatever you want to. And if everyone seems, well, not everyone, but if a lot of people seem to like something and you don't, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just a preference thing, or what you like for yourself. And so I was watching a few videos, and I am interested in the Quint that has the greenish shades in it and the one that has the purple in it. But looking at swatches, those shades are dupable. And I'm like, so I'm like, I don't know. But y'all know I'll be waiting for 30% and 40% off sales. And so that might make it worth it. But I'm just like, I do have those shades. Those turquoisey shades, that green shade. No, the green one is in the Face and Cheek palette. But I'm like, I have that purple shade in the Quint, in the new Quint. And the other one had, I think it was, I don't know if it was greenish. It was something, but I have that shade in another palette too. And the thing with that purple shade, I think Patty compared it to, she swatched all the purples from the motherships. Well, from all of her Pat McGrath collection against the new collection. And even within her Pat McGrath collection, there's a dupe for that purple that's in the Quint. So I'm just like, but I don't have all the Pat stuff. So I don't have it in a Pat palette. But what I was looking at though, excuse me, to me it looks like, shoot, what's that shadow called? It looked like something from Mothman. I'm gonna say it, beams and booty. But to me, it almost looked like Red Eyes, Thick Thighs. Now granted, this is a multi-chrome, but blended out, I'm like, that looks like that purple shade. And so that excites me, because I'm like, Even though that palette, that Quint did look really nice. I was gonna say, where did I put that brush? I'm like, and because the other shades are like neutral tones, it's like, do I want to get a Quint just for like 2 shades? It's important for me to like an entire palette, whether it's a quad or a Quint or, you know, full blown 15 pan, 18 pan palette. And so I don't know, but then, you know, I'll see it 40% off and be like, oh, I'm getting it. Or wait till the spring and just keep checking TJ Maxx and or Marshalls for it and get it for like 17 bucks. Because I was seeing Dion Lorah for $16.99. That's a Quint at TJ Maxx. And I'm glad I posted that on Instagram and YouTube, because a couple people went out to their local TJ Maxx Marshalls and found it at TJ Maxx and got it. And I'm like, yay, because that's an amazing deal. 17 bucks for a Pat McGrath Quint? Are you kidding me? And I had messaged a friend of mine asking her if she wanted anything. And so she wanted one thing. And so I got that for her and sent it to her. But saving money is exciting. And especially when something is considered like a luxury brand, a coveted brand. And so to get it like for a fraction of the price. This side has a peak, which I noticed I've been doing by accident lately. And this side is rounded. And I don't know what to do about it unless I bring shadow down here. But then I think once I put my eyeliner on, it'll help cover that up. So that is that shade. Excuse me. So now we're going to go into the golden one. And we're going to take Coral Bliss. No. Excuse me if you heard that, my throat. This shade. I'll put the name of that over here because I can't pronounce that either. So this is where it might get funky, but if you've been here, you know we do funky. That don't look so bad. Y'all, I be planning for the best and preparing for the worst. Because I'm like, I'm going to have to finagle. But really, and just tapping. Tap, 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 tap. That is blended. Do you see that? What? Okay. Okay. It surprises me. So when I'm having these reactions, I'm not being dramatic. I'm really just like, wow. Like that just blended and it doesn't look weird because they're different undertones. And also when I'm looking at looks, like when I'm doing this and I'm thinking like, can I do this with something else that I have? Like when I use Swamp of Sorrows and I layer 3 shades, I'm like, this looks like something I might be able to do with Forest Heart palette. And I commented to somebody, because she said she never would have thought to compare the two, but when I had said it and I showed it in a video, she was like, yeah. And it surprises me. My collection is so small that when I come across something or I do a look and it reminds me of something else, I'm just like, huh. But once you lean into what your aesthetic is, you're buying things geared towards your aesthetic. And even if they're different, it might be similar enough where it's like, this looks familiar. I just realized I also did not put highlighter on in case I do put concealer under my eyes to clean that up. And my paper's on top of the highlighter, which is what made me think of that. So now we're going to take Cyborg Relations, this shade here. And that's going to go on the second quarter of the lid. Which one did I say? Shoot. Where? Oh, okay, this one. Looking at the palette, the label is the opposite way. Sort of like when I do my my MAC palettes and I put the label upside down. So when I'm holding the palette this way, I'm reading it right side up, but then I'm like, the shade is this one. So that's how it is with this, because the shadows are left to right, and on the back, yeah, it's left to right as well. But when you're looking at it, I want to say it's this first shade, but it's not. This is the last shade, but the name of it is behind this one. So I totally get why people are like, And for Pat McGrath's Quints, it's all the same way how it's written, but other brands may write things different. And so you got to figure out, okay, which shade is where for that brand. This is looking okay too. Like the tone, you can tell the tones are different, but I'm like, this is okay. I was excited that the new Quints are the same formula because these are creamy. And I had forgot that because there's not a lot of fallout because they are so creamy. And so I could have went ahead and finished my under eye area. I am liking this. This is nice. Wow, and it's smoky. Well, I knew it was going to be because of that blackish shade. So now we're going to take... Oh, wait a minute. I missed a shade. We were supposed to put bronze mink right here, which is, excuse me, this shade right here. And this shade was going to be on the inside. So we're just going to put this on the inside, even though I do think it would have looked better next to the red. But wow, I'm sitting here like something ain't right. I'm not right. If you're new here, I'm always got it this way. Welcome. I hope this looks right. You know what? No, it doesn't. This is too... No, I don't like that. We're gonna finagle it. We don't scrap looks here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this over, and then I'm gonna go back with that previous shade and put that inner corner where we're putting this one, but just like in this area. But you'll see. It's not horrible. It's not horrible. I've done worse. I have done a lot worse. We're gonna go back to the previous brush and go back into Cyborg Relations, this shade down here. Excuse me. And put this where I had my notes to put it. These do layer well also. Yeah, this is what I thought it would look like. It kind of almost blends in. Should I swatch them? If I think I did a swatch party of my... Did I ever do a swatch party of my motherships? If you want to... I know I swatch them before I use them, like in a video. I think this is nice. You see, I'm saying it like it's a question. Yeah. Okay. If you want to see me swatch these, let me know. I know there's tons of swatch videos for patch stuff, so that's why I'm like, and these aren't new either. So, but then when I say like wear what you want, try not to feel like you need whatever. And I did notice that I stopped saying, this is Sephora Collection Retractable Eyeliner, 12 Hour. This is 04 Matte Terracotta. I used to say, or just to remind you all, that when you're looking at videos and it's a brand you don't use, just pay attention to the colors. And if you like the look, just try to dupe those colors. If you have like a smoke gray, a red, and a shimmery bronze, you can do this look. You don't need the palette that they're showing you. And I appreciate that some of you really enjoy that when I say that, because I am a fan of just wearing whatever you want to, whatever brand you want to. And I see a lot of videos, oh, I love that look you did, I'm getting that palette. And I'm thinking, like, look in your collection, like in my mind, because I'm not like talking to that person, to see what you have. And someone commented on one of my videos recently, and I forget who it was. And when I say what I'm going to say, you're going to be like, hey, that was me. So shout out to you, girl. They were saying how with the new collection, they were looking at stuff and looking at swatch videos, and they realized that the shades they were interested in, they looked through their collection and they can dupe the shadows that they were, oh my goodness, girl, what's going on with you? They realized the shades they were most drawn to, they already had in their collection. And I'm like, oh, you know what? It wasn't even Pat McGrath. It was the new Danessa Myricks thing that's coming out. So we're going into, what palette? We're going into Bronze Bliss, and we're taking Bronze Illusion, this shade here, and this is going to go on the first half of the lower lash line. And they said that they realized even in the other Danessa, excuse me, palette that they have. Ooh, this is bright, but then it looks bright in here. That's this one. This one right here. And she said she realized that she had those shades. And I was like so excited for her that she did, you know, look in her collection and realize that she had those shades, or at least shades that are similar enough, and not, you know, rushing out or feeling, you know, FOMO, like, oh my gosh, I need to have this new palette. And so that's something that I encourage you to do, is when you see looks and you're like, wow, that look is pretty, look at the colors. Or if you see a new palette, look at the colors. And then think about what you have in your collection. And even if you have to go pull stuff out, because I do that too. And they said they had did that. You know, pull out your palettes and look at them. And when I'm looking at Instagram sometime and I see looks I like, I'll take a screenshot and then I'll look at my palettes and see, like, can I do that look? Now we're going back to the golden one and we're taking Coral Bliss. Which one? That cannot be Coral Bliss. Coral Blitz. This shade. This is going to go on the second half of the lower lash line. Why did I have like a shimmer there? And then, is that the right shade? Yeah. I don't know. So, yeah, so I encourage you to do that. And even seeing looks that you like, you're like, wow, you may not necessarily need that palette to get that look or a similar look. And keep in mind too, unless you're watching somebody who is your complexion, they're your shade twin, they have your same undertone, the shadows may look different on you than on them. So keep that in mind too. And also keep in mind, you know, your makeup aesthetic. Do you have the same aesthetic as the person's video you're watching? And there's some channels I watch, I have a different aesthetic. I like Annette's Makeup Corner because she does bold makeup. I love Gel Beauty 87 because she does bold makeup. Now, do I do makeup that bold? No. But I love watching it because I'm like, girl, she be working stuff out. And Bonzi, I think that's her channel. And I'll link these people below. She does really bold makeup too. More bold than me, and she's more creative than I am. But I enjoy her channel. But then I also like Teresa's Dead, like her reviews, and we have different aesthetics. And she'll say, you know, she likes, you know, she'll say whatever it is that she likes, which is different than like what I like for me. And so I do watch people who their aesthetic is different than mine. We're going to be funky. Yeah, we're going to take a red. And I'm thinking this will tie in with Underneath. This is from Inglot. Oh, child. And so we're going to put this, let me put these brushes away. I'm figuring out, well, I'm trying to decide, excuse me, if I'm swirling this in here while I'm talking, and it's seeming like it didn't want to pick up at first. And it is creamy, so that's why, you know what, it's this brush that I will not name. This brush, and I like it that it's angled, which is why I got it, but the way it performs, it be giving me problems. And I know it's enough liner on here. It's just something about this brush. Oh, look at this. This makes it pop, I think. I am a huge fan of non-black eyeliner for upper lash line, because I think it really just does. I'm not saying get a red, unless you just want to try it. And if you just want to try it, get one that's less expensive than this one. This is Inglot. Or get a red NYX retractable eyeliner, or just any eyeliner that you can get, even if it's a pencil. It doesn't have to be a gel, just to see how you like trying different liner colors for upper lash line. Now look at that. It's different than this shade, but it just ties in. It's like you have it here, and then it's like, I did think this was going to show up more red, which is why I thought to put red underneath, but then it's kind of really not though, because that's this shade. Like, I don't know what I was thinking, and sometimes I don't know what I be thinking. I be thinking the look is going to be okay. I really thought though, excuse me, that this look was going to be busted because we're mixing cool tones and warm tones. But for me, if a cool tone shadow leans neutral, that helps out how it looks on my complexion. I do not like me in all cool tone looks, not at all. I don't think they're flattering on me. Y'all, listen. most of you may have heard of Alicia Archer. Sometimes I don't watch her videos because she can sell anything. Everything friggin' looks good on her. And even when she does, and some foundations we wear the same shades and some we don't. And so our complexions and undertones are similar. She could rock a cool tone look. And when I do one, I'm like, oh, girl. Like, it's just like, nah, girl. I want something for under my brow bone because this is looking like a whole lot of space. But I don't, there's nothing to put up here unless I put a shimmer up. Well, most people do put a shimmer up there, but I think it might be too light. Like if we were to take Gold Etiquette, which is this shade. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take this brush that does not have any shadow on it, and I'm going to go in small circular motions to bring the shadow, my lid shades, up a little bit so that it's not so much blank space up here. And if it blends the way I want it to, I feel like I said that funny. If it blends the way I want it to, that may eliminate me looking at it and thinking I need to put a brow bone shade up there. And usually I'll take my lid shades up higher. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't take them up high if I have a traditional like transition shade to use, which I seldom do. But okay, so this is not blended upward. This is blended upward. So I think it is looking a little better because the shadow, even though there was nothing on the brush, it's very lightly just blending those shades upward. And so it's making it look like it's something there. Like if you look here, you can tell this is just my bare skin, where over here it's looking a little, I want to say dusty, but not in a bad way. This eye is always tearing. Look at this. Why? The AC is not blowing. It's like 55 degrees outside. It is chilly in my apartment. That's why I got this hoodie on. And this is why I also don't like doing a thick liner for my upper lash line. Because look at this. I just noticed it transferred. You see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run a red line and do a graphic line. Because I can't get away from that. I mean, what do you can't just take it off without removing the eyeshadow. Oh, shoot. And this side must be already dry. Or this side is just thicker because this side didn't transfer. Damn it. When you have a puffy transition area. See now, it looks less like bare skin. Like it doesn't really look like anything is there. Why is this side like a little darker than this side? It might be the lighting. I know I say that a lot. It might be the lighting. It might be the lighting. It might be. Or I might just be delusional. Maybe it's just something I'm telling myself to pass the time while I'm chit-chatting with you while I'm trying to fix this look. Okay. We're just going to leave it. We're not going to do... Part of me is thinking just put this, but this is like hella bright. We're not going to do it. I don't always like a brow bone shade, and maybe because I like dark, smoky, hazy, swamp water, all of that, messy grunge. But I wonder if I put more shadow there, like will that cover that up? Oh, shit. What shade was that? That was this shade supposed to be, but we messed up and put this one first. We're going to take this one again. We're going to see if we can cover that up because I really don't. I kind of do want to put a red line up there, but then I kind of just don't feel like experimenting right now. So we're taking a clean brush and we're going to see. Okay. We're going to see if we can cover that up, but then that's making the shadow, well, me pulling the shadow further over than I wanted it to go. And I can still see it like right here, but it's not as noticeable, question mark. I'm going to flip the brush over and go into this shade, which we took on the inner corner. And we're going to put that there too, since we did overlap these two shades anyway. I think we did it, but now this side is looking different. But I don't think it's looking that different where it's just like, does she have on two different eye looks? We're going to go back to this one in the corner, making sure I use the right side of the brush, and just put a little bit here. So we're just trying to get them as even as possible, even though I don't think it's that noticeable. I am surprised we were able to cover up the red, even though I do still see a slight red line, but it might be because I know where it is. Don't know. I am going to put on concealer. We're going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. Excuse me. I am curious of how this primer is going to turn out. I heard mixed reviews on it. And I'm doing this not because I have fallout, but just because the pat primer does not help diminish the look of my under eye discoloration. And I do always usually use a primer, a concealer when I use that foundation. And this is the brush that I use for primer mixed with the foundation. Yo, that primer, I had this. It's annoying, but at least now I know it is product in there. That thing is cheap as hell. I'm like, for a luxury brand, they should be ashamed. Like that is just shameful. And it needs to be permanently like 60% off. The primer, I love it though. The face primer, I freaking love it. But the label, you know, everybody that I saw, they were like, the label's peeling off, the packaging is cheap, it's really lightweight. But I'm really wanting somebody to comment saying they did open theirs too and noticed there was a plastic bag in there. Because I'm really just wanting, like, somebody told me they opened it. But now we're going to take, that still doesn't look quite right. We're going to take the Fashion Fair powder and we're going to set the under eye. It brightens in a way, but then it also brings out like an olive undertone, which some of my undertone on my face is olivey. But certain shades of powders and foundations and concealers bring it out even more. So this is my darkest patch, like right here. So even though I'm doing the same thing, this side to me is cool. It's a little bit discolored, but it naturally is, and so I'm okay with that. This side, and there's nothing I can do about it, because I'm not going to keep putting on, you know, more concealers or different color concealers and color correctors, because it goes back to accepting your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, but never feeling like you have to. And so this is my enhancement. So whatever y'all think about it, just remember, we trolls here. I'm going to take Radiant Light because I do like this as an all-over finishing powder too. But before I do that, I'm going to take the Pat McGrath highlighter, which I almost forgot to take. And this one is Venusian Nude. I keep saying I'm going to put it in my Macari store. It might already be in there, so I need to stop using it. It's just, I do like it, but it's a little more rosy than I like for a highlighter. And no, I don't like icy highlighters. I like a lit from within glow. And so that's why I'm always like when I use this. But it's not horrible though. So now we're going to take Radiant Light, and we're going to use a fluffy brush. Ugh, I don't really want to use this brush, but I haven't used it in a long time. This is Radiant Light from Hourglass. Oh, you know what? I was going to use a smaller brush. Well, the brush I use to set my face to get Radiant Light under here. And because this does add some radiance, it does also help the camouflage. Excuse me. Under eye discoloration. I really like Radiant Light, but I have to remember not to put a lot because when I go outside, I'll be shining. Like fairy dust all over my face. And it's not glittery though, it's just shiny. But people said it looked healthy glowy because I had posted on Instagram when I first got it. Like, is it healthy glowy or healthy greasy? Because I really didn't know. But the thing is when my body heats up, or if I start to sweat, this area right here, and even my chin, like this whole area, it looks like super, super shiny. And I'm like, is that oily or natural glow? And people said it looked like a natural glow. So I'm like, okay. So I just need to not put too much. And I don't know if it's too much until I go outside and the sun hits my face and people are like, girl, you shining. And I'm like, sorry. What are we going to do for a lip? Did I use this? No, I did not. Gonna write about Fantastic. Do I dare? We're gonna do a black lip. I feel like I have not done a black lip in a while. And we could do black and do an ombre. This is a cool tone shade. I don't really like it, but then when I wear it, it's like, it's fine. So this is MAC's Caviar. Is it Caviar? Yep, it is. MAC's Retro Matte Liquid Lip Color. And I always have to slow myself down to say it. I'm going to edit this out. I love these. I just did this off of that one, taking it out. I didn't dip back in. I didn't have to do any of that. This, I know it'll be over when you see this. But MAC had a 30% off site-wide sale. And because they only have a few dark liquid lipsticks, I didn't get any more. Actually, I think this is the only one I got. Well, the only one I have is the black. I'm trying to do a peak because this side has a natural peak, and it's always challenging for me to try to get my lips even because then I mess up. I know, just embrace my natural features. So we're gonna stop. Thank you for reminding me of that. I almost forgot mascara. We're just gonna grab hella thick because it's right here. I'm debating on whether or not to tap this on the middle. I think it would tie in with the red. You know what, when I hear myself saying that, oh, this will tie in with that. I hear myself also remembering I don't like matchy-matchy. But I'm like, this will tie in with this and this will tie in with that. So maybe I need to stop saying that and say instead, I don't like when my makeup matches my clothes. That's probably what I need to start saying. I do like my makeup to be cohesive, but even with that though, I don't always want like my eyeshadow to be the same shade as my lipstick and the same shade as, you know, my blush. Because then it's just like a monochromatic face. And it is pretty. There's a gap right here in my eyelashes I'm trying to cover up, and it's just like, no, you're not. You can keep trying, but we ain't gonna. Let me see if I spike it. I just realized I didn't do inner rims. Dang it. I really like this look. I like that the cheeks are there, not there. And that's why I used Desert Orchid as a blush. Because I didn't think the eyes were going to be popping like this, but they are. And so that was a good choice, I think, with the bronzers and the blush that I used. And because we did a dark lip. This is my aesthetic right here. One of my vibes. Dark. I like it. I really like this mascara too. So you can mix cool and warm tones on the lid. I'm gonna tap this on the center and then I'm gonna be like, why did I do that? Shit. This color is Chili Addict. Is that what it says? Let me put the cap back on and turn it upside down. It is called, yeah, Chili Addict. I don't think I purchased this. I don't know if it came as a gift or something. Where am I going to put this? Shit. Layering the matte liquid lip colors on top of each other is challenging. Thought I saw a gnat. Y'all would think I live in the country. All the times I'm thinking I'm seeing gnats and stuff. Because once it dries down and the black is already dry, it's hard to get something on top of it in an even layer. So you see how I'm having to do this. And I did wipe some off on the top because I didn't want to put too much because I don't want a red lip. And I'm trying to place and blend out at the same time. This is my happy face. And I have to be careful of how I do this because of this peak right here in my lips. If I just keep my lips regular and go all the way down, it'll end up with lipstick down here from the peak. So I have to either like bring my upper lip in and do that, or not go all the way in like how some people go all the way in, or I'll just do this more so towards the inner part of the lip and not the full lip, or I'll do one of these, because then that peak part of my lip doesn't come down here. Yeah, this is perfect. Oh my gosh, I was concerned if you wanted to amp it up and you wanted it glossy, put a clear gloss on top. Do we want to do that or no? No, because we're going to keep it dark. I am really digging this look. I really did not think that both of these two were going to go as well together as they did, because this is kind of cool and this is, you know, a little neutral-ish, warmish. And I probably said that backwards, but anyway. I'm digging this eye look. I'm excited that we paired these together, because I remember saying I was going to use these before I dug into the newer stuff that I have. I love the cheek situation, love the highlight. Now that everything is settled, the under eye still discolored, but it's natural looking because I have under eye discoloration. I like the cheek situation. I love the glow that radiant light hiccups me, excuse me, gives me. And I am friggin' digging this lip. And I got it pretty even where Chili Addict is. We're gonna go. Let me know what you think. If you have Bronze Bliss, thank you, Joe Beauty 87, aka Grace, because she's the one who sent me this. And the golden one from Star Wars. If you have either one of these, let me know your thoughts on them. Let me know if you thought to pair them. What do you think of this pairing? What do you think of this overall look? This is me right here. Give me the dark, messy grunge, smoky, vampy. Troll did that thing. Thank you for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me in the next video.